Ain't no woman gonna leave you because you made a mistake, because you messed up. You understand what I'm saying? Most of the time, women don't leave because you openly made a mistake and you came back and you owned your stuff and y'all decided to work it out, because that's what we do. The problem is when you get forgiven for that mistake and we try to work it out with you, then you turn around and you do that same mistake over, then that same mistake over, then that same mistake over. See, you ain't get left because you made a mistake. Ain't nobody will walk out on you or abandon you because you made a mistake. We walked out and we left you because you made it a pattern. You know what I'm saying? You made it your norm. You understand? Ain't nobody gonna sit back and just wait on you and keep begging you to do right, to do the right thing, to see them as worthy, to love them correctly, to respect them, to respect your relationship. You lost your woman because of you. You didn't lose her because she wanted to leave. She left you because she had to leave.
That's not true. It's just some old female dating coach babble, TikTok babble. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, that's the way, most men would see it. Most men would see it that way. But typically, that is, the repeat offender, the man that keeps treating you the same way over and over and over again. And yet you keep giving him opportunity after opportunity to improve. But, at some time as women, we got to understand that that is just the way that man is. And men tend to change when they're ready to change. Not for you, not because you good to them, not because, of anything you do or the lack of. He has to want to be in a relationship. And most of the time, you're just not his woman. You're not the woman that he really wants to be with. But because you continue to allow him to come in and out of your life, then he treats you in that manner. You're treated that way. So when you say, he lost the woman because of him, basically, you the woman that keep giving him the opportunity to treat you in this manner, because at what point do you understand you're not his woman? Because for the woman that he wants to be with, she won't go through this. So when you're doing this with a man over and over and over and going through these kind of things, that's not the man for you. That's the wrong man.
What about the man that you didn't like but you dated anyway? Do we get to make more than one mistake? What about the man that was doing what quote unquote women say he's supposed to do and other men say he's supposed to do in a relationship, but he got cheated on? See, she's using those, and see, women got this really bad. You use these words, and you don't think you could just use the words and paint a broad statement, and then you want to stand on those words. Now, let's break down what she said. She said you didn't lose your man, you didn't lose your woman because she did something wrong. You left, you did it because you. Well, that's not in all. That's not in most cases or all cases. There's many different situations that can happen in a relationship. Now, I get it. I get what she's trying to say. She's talking about a guy that she really wanted to be with, but he unfortunately won't treat her right, and he keeps doing X, Y, and Z over and over and over, and she keeps staying and putting up with whatever he's dishing out. And so that's the scenario that she's trying to paint. But she should have used a full disclosure before she started talking, because when a lot of men hear this, there's plenty of men that never been through situations like this to say, I've been with a woman and I just flat out mistreated her and that's why she left. Hell, it's women that then just left a guy on the drop of a dime. Hell, he ain't make no mistake. He come home and thinking things straight and thinking things good, and she done run off with some other dude. So this
just
is
like
just
every
nothing more
video,
than babble
it
right here.
applies to those. That message is sent out to the guys who are doing this stuff. It's sent out to the women who are taking these kind of treatment. It's not a one fit all for all guys. It's a one case scenario, or the cases that this applies to. So she's not sending it out to the good guy who's doing the right thing. She's not sending it out to the guy who maybe the woman didn't care for him and he wanted her. She's sending this message out to the women, which are a lot, that continue to have what we call a revolving door for these men who continue to walk all over them. That message is sent out to those men, not to any other men. So if the message doesn't apply, like with most messages, then why are you concerned about it? It's
No,
not,
because
she's not bashing guys at all men at all.
this type of rhetoric is just regurgitated. It's just regurgitated. And so, hey man, this is the reason why we going through these things. Is because men, we give y'all all these chances and blah blah. First of all, 9 times out of 10, you probably done went again, got a guy that you knew you weren't supposed to be with in the first place, but he just made you feel so oh my god, he gave you this wonderful feeling, and now you decide to give him a chance, or you decide to jump head over heels in love with him, and there was 1,000 red flags, and now he doing you exactly the way we thought he was gonna do you, and now you want to come back and you want to say, well, we go through all this here and we go through it. Yeah, you go through that because number one, you shouldn't even never been with him in the first place. So this
But
is a lot of
who are we
babble.
to make the decision on who a person decides to choose?
We
You
can't,
choose
but we
somebody based on your emotions and your feelings, and you expect that person to treat you right. That's like just saying that women going out there choosing all the bad guys. That's why they go through this stuff. Like good guys don't mess up either, quote unquote, as y'all label them as good guys. But everybody has the potential to do something wrong and to hurt a person in a relationship. And she's just speaking of women who have been in these relationships with these guys, and they keep giving them multiple chances to get their stuff together, and they keep messing up. Just like the men always say, well, you don't choose us kind of guys. Y'all don't want to choose the guys you got to work with. You don't want to choose the guys that you got to come up with. You don't want to choose the guys that require some work for them to get themselves together. Yeah, when you choose those guys, this is what happened. Over and over, they keep messing up because they don't want to get their stuff together. And if there was a good guy that came along, or a guy who had his stuff together
you wouldn't
alone,
choose him.
then maybe
You,
she would have chose that
no,
guy.
no, you
But she
would. You
chose the
probably
guy that she was interested in, the guy that showed her favor, and that's the guy. And this guy keep messing over her. We choose the people that we find physically attractive, and then we get emotionally tied to. And we don't know if they're going to be good people, but you give them the benefit of the doubt. And unfortunately, some guys screw up. They mess over you, and you keep giving them
it,
time after time after time.
it's all women always want us to feel or convince us that they've been tricked. Oh, I've been tricked. He wasn't like that in the beginning. I've been fooled. Don't blame it on me for my lack, for my lack thereof to pick genuine good guys. Now, granted, people do change. They do. Or
Kevin,
some people hide who they really are, but most of the time it's always he tricked me.
Kevin, if we all had the ability to pick the correct person from the beginning, there would be no such thing as divorce. There would be no such thing as perfect or a great relationship or longevity. We would choose the person that's right. We choose people based on number one, physical attraction, number two, emotional attraction, and then all the other things come along, finances or whatever else comes along. So when you choose a person, you're thinking you're choosing somebody who has the same alignment as you. And unfortunately, for men and women, we get tricked sometimes, and we choose with our emotions, with our hearts, and we get misled because these are not good people. Whether it's a man or a woman, sometimes we choose people who don't stand on the same principles, morals, and values as us. And this kind of stuff happens. The problem is some of us keep choosing that person over and over and
So
over
then what's
again.
the excuse?
Well, that's what she's saying. Stop doing it. Stop keep choosing these type of guys. Stop giving them chances. If he's shown you who he is, then believe who he says he is.